I've decided to start a new video series where I've invited some other folks from my small little Facebook community called Professor Pokemon Presents to send in some gameplay footage, and that way we can all get to know one another better and learn from each other and one another's gameplay. So I hope that y'all enjoy seeing some footage from other players, and I hope that you'll consider sending in some footage yourself.
The first trainer to send in some video footage for us to check out is SWIFTicune, and SWIFTicune is also one of the moderators for the Facebook page, and so I was really excited for him to send in some of his Great League play, and I think that he's put together a pretty interesting team for us to look at. So he's created this team that he calls the Yellow Team, which I'm sure pained him because he is on Team Mystic in the game, but he put together a team of Pokemon players that all feature the color yellow. So we have Alolan Raichu on the lead, we have Hypno and Umbreon in the back. Now there's going to be a potential weakness to double dark types here. Ghost types could also be fairly hurtful, but the Umbreon is going to neutralize dark types if they hit a dark type on the lead, and it's going to do super effective damage against ghost types if they hit a ghost type on the lead. So the only thing to really worry about is using up the Umbreon somewhere in the beginning, and then potentially needing to use it later for something like a ghost type at the end. So I think that this team gives a lot of fair coverage, and it's going to be interesting to see what happens. I haven't looked through all of these videos yet, so you're going to see what are mostly spontaneous reactions. So this is not a great initial matchup. We have a dark type with Alolan Muck versus Alolan Raichu here, so that's not a great start. We're able to neutralize the Muck's attacks by switching into the Umbreon, so that was a really great choice by SWIFTicune there. Foul Play isn't going to do a lot of damage, so I'm not sure why the Muck blocked, but we'll see what the Muck can pull off here. Okay, it's an Acid Spray. Acid Spray is never what you want to see coming out of a Great League Muck, because it's going to drop your defense no matter what, whether you shield, whether you don't shield, and it's just going to make it more difficult to actually defeat the Muck. And so clearly they see this Umbreon as a significant threat to the rest of their team. Presumably that's why they've committed to the Muck and they're sticking in the round there. And they just keep firing off these acid sprays to hurt the Umbreon's defense. So even if the Muck goes down, whatever their next Pokemon is will almost certainly be able to beat Umbreon because of how many times Muck has dropped its defense. But Umbreon has completely done its job because Umbreon has been able to more or less neutralize the Muck so the other Pokemon can come in and do their work. Also, SWIFTicune was doing a great job of saving shields here, so he could defend himself against attacks like that Fire Kick. Okay, decided not to use a shield there. I think that's okay. I think that Hypno can take one Blaze Kick, which he did. And now, are they going to bring the Muck back? They don't. They didn't bring back the Muck. So we went for Psychic here, which is going to be much better than Thunder Punch against a part Earth type like Whiscash. SWIFTicune decided to save the Hypno, keep it in the match. Oh, okay, and then we switch to the Muck. And now that the shield is gone, Muck can just wreak havoc on Hypno. That Dark Pulse is going to do so much damage. But fortunately, Umbreon farmed it down enough. Okay, so can we get to that Grass Knot in time? Looks like we can. Grass Knot is going to do super effective damage against the Whiscash, and that is a game well played. It's really great that the person who was the opponent committed to the Muck at the beginning, so that way the Umbreon could farm it down. This is a little bit better matchup. This is a nice lead here. The challenge is that we could see Drill Run coming out of the Beedrill, which would be very unpleasant, of course, for an electric type like Raichu. This is also an unpleasant matchup, so we switch to the Hypno, which is a great counter for the Beedrill, but Umbreon is just going to be devastating to something like Hypno. The shield goes up so that there's the opportunity to get off at least one Psychic move. Will the opponent shield? Seems like they aren't. So unfortunately, the other person was able to kind of save some of their shields. Looks like SWIFTicune is just going to let the Hypno go down here. That makes sense. Oh, they get to one more Thunder Punch. So that's excellent to at least be able to chip away at that Umbreon. We've got it down to the yellow, so SWIFTicune is in a good place in terms of being able to farm it down. He does have to use a shield here because Dark Pulse would have definitely fainted out the Raichu. So if we wanted to get a shield, which we can't, that is extremely unfortunate. Just one tap away from being able to take down at least one of the shields on that Umbreon. That's really sad that he missed it there. Going for foul play against the Beedrill. Beedrill could possibly spring drill around here, which they do. Not quite as damaging to the Umbreon as it would have been to the Raichu, so still in okay shape, but down to the yellow. Fortunately, Umbreon charges really, really fast. Are they going to shield this? Are they going to let the Beedrill go down? Okay, they decided to shield, so now it just comes down to who's going to charge faster. And unfortunately, it looks like the Beedrill got there first with the drill run. So that was at least a good go of it. There wasn't a lot that SWIFTicune could have done in that situation. Lost on the lead matchup, had counters all the way through, so that was unfortunate. Again, did not have a great lead here because Marowak, which is very unusual to see a standard Marowak show up in the Great League, by the way, doing super effective Earth-type damage against the Raichu, but the Marowak was doing more or less nothing against Hypno. SWIFTicune goes to take a shield here, just spamming with Thunder Punch, and does get a shield. So that's great. Thunder Punch is not going to do very much against Ampharos, but it does charge faster than Psychic, and so it was great that he was able to get that shield, and then preserved enough health, not quite enough to get to that Psychic attack. I'm not sure that he had to shield quite yet there, but that's such a nerve-wracking place to be. And Psychic does completely take out the Ampharos, so it did work out in the end. We've got to go for Psychic instead of Thunder Punch against the Marowak, but it looks like Marowak was able to get to Bone Club. So now we have the Umbreon, and Umbreon is going to be a much better match there. Oh, this is interesting. Okay, so SWIFTicune commits to using the Umbreon to take down the Victory Bell, gets that last shield, charges very, very fast with foul play. One of the challenges about using a Victory Bell is that they do a lot of damage with their fast move, but it takes so long to charge. Can we get to another foul play before they get to Leaf Blade? Yes, it looks like SWIFTicune is able to get to that foul play and feint out the Victory Bell. And then, can we get to another? Didn't quite make it to that foul play. That would have been so good to clinch the match with foul play right there against the Marowak. But Marowak has thrown its energy. Can we? Yes, we are able to get to that Grass Knot, which does super effective damage. So SWIFTicune did a great job of taking out those shields to make sure that once they got to the end with that Raichu, they could grab that super effective damage at the end. So that was another game well played. This was so fun to watch this yellow team in action. Alolan Raichu, Hypno, and Umbreon. Very interesting grouping. It's worked out really well for him. I was excited to see this footage. I hope you were excited to see it too. And I hope that you'll consider submitting some footage of your own as well.